Says we are live.
Let's see. Oh, we are live. What is going on, everyone? Texas Cloud Town back here again for the weekend wisdom with Mr. Shane Oakley.
What's up, everybody?
And then we got our special guest, Mr. Lethal Coilz.
What's going on, guys?
So today we are going to be talking about some advocacy, but first we're going to go through our setups and we're going to ask Mr. Lethal Coilz some questions.
Show.
So Lethal, go ahead and show them what you're vaping on today.
All right. Well, first up, what we've got is the. Oh, hold on. I got to mute my. Oh, my cast is muted. Why am I hearing an echo?
That was me. Sorry.
Oh, no worries, bro. No worries. Sorry about that.
Rookie
We
mistake.
got the Rig V3 Punisher Edition with the Kennedy 24 on top there. We've also got the Suicide Queen with the BTFC on top there. Also up, we've got the overpowered, this thing's so heavy. The overpowered 21700 stack 30 millimeter tube with the Twisted Messes TM24 on top. And then we've got, finally, my two favorite setups at the moment. We've got the silver topside dual with the Dead Rabbit RDA on top there. And we've got another topside dual special edition black and red spatter with the Hellbeast tank on top there.
Nice.
What am I doing for juice? We've got some Sad Boy. We got strawberry jam cookie. We've got some Sad Boy blueberry jam cookie. We've also got some, yes, as you can tell, I love my jams. We've got some Jam Monster blackberry. I don't have the bottle, but I do have some black Jam Monster raspberry. And then the final one I'm on with, a little bit different because I need to change up flavors. We've got a vanilla tobacco granola bar from Yogi.
Oh wow.
Nice. They want to try that stuff.
Yeah. I got lucky. I went down to one of my B&M shops, which the guys there love me. They've known me since I started vaping, which has been like 2.5, 3 years now. He tossed me the entire line of Yogi that they sent them for just samples. He threw the whole line to me, said, do a review on all of these. Okay.
Nice.
So, but that's what I've got going on.
All right.
Shane, go ahead and tell everyone what you're vaping on. Show us some special.
All right. Yeah, something special. I did get a new this week. I got that Rig Mod 41. Got it on the Just Right Red with half moon. Not half moon, with the DHD chop top in there. The Sad Boy Shamrock Cookie. And then I got my Dreamer and my Axial combo that never leaves. And of course I got that merge transmission in there. And then the Profile Unity on the Shogun. Still got that IVC Parade Maker in there. And I picked up another little new thing this week, the Nord. And
Nice.
got the mesh coil in there with the, of course, merge transmission. So, and then I have my little MTL Amit on the Armor Pro. Still got the final stand, 12 milligram freebase. That's all I've got
Nice.
today.
All right. So I got the Black Copper Keen with the Turk V2 black drip tip. Looking nice all together. You can get a black button for it. And inside that, I got the Custard Shop Butterscotch Custard. Something I've really been enjoying here the last day. Another new one I got the NATO from Vapors Cloud and Asylum Mods with the Dead Goat on top. That little ball bearing in there. And inside that, I got I think it's wobbly. Inside there, I got the Shamrock Cookie. Let's see what I got next. Next, I got the M41 Rig Mod RDA with the Subohm Innovation 18650 mod with some Sad Boy strawberry. Got to keep that matchy game going. And then I got the Purge Twisted 2700 with the Apocalypse 25. And inside that, I got some cookie butter. And then I got a Warlock's Hammer from Mr. Mark Cloth, the Gathering Vapor with the Ocula on top. I've been switching between the Ocula and the Recoil Rebel. Pretty good, pretty similar vapes. And inside that, I got some Cloud Nerds, strawberry, lemon, strawberry lemon, and then I got some grape apple in one of the or inside the Recoil whenever I'm vaping on it. But yeah, so that's what I'm vaping on. That's what we're vaping on.
I forgot I also had this, my Ardent Keen.
Ooh,
with the
nice,
the good old Grindhouse in there.
Ooh, the Grindhouse is some good stuff, man.
Yep. Thank you, E.
All right, so first, instead of going straight into advocacy, what we're going to do, or it's pretty much advocacy based, but what we're going to do is we're going to talk to Lethal and we're going to ask him some questions. So if anyone has any questions, go ahead and throw them up in the chat, and we'll get to them and we'll start asking them. But first thing I wanted to ask you is, I know you're a very positive person, and you're always smiling, man. You're always laughing, smiling, having a good time, even when something's bad or something's down. So I really like the positivity. But I want to know, how do you keep such a positive mindset with all these laws and rules and regulations trying to go into effect, and all these people pretty much trying to cut down the vape industry, something that's helped all of us. I know it's helped me and all y'all, but live a little bit longer than what we should.
Well, to be honest with you, as you said, I'm just pretty positive by nature. A big part of it is, to be honest with you, being on camera, being involved with the community, and sharing everything with the entire vape fam that I know and I have. It's like therapy for me almost. And so it's really my happy time. This is where I really shine. This is what makes my day, And so that's where I stand on that one. As far as with all that's going on, I think what keeps me going is knowing that I do my part and knowing that I contribute to the fight, and that I try to stay as optimistic as I can and hope to God that my efforts aren't going, in vain.
Yeah.
That, something might make a difference. And, sometimes it's, we saw this, I'm going to quote a movie that we watched last night in the Stooge Crew Discord. Even the smallest voice can make a big difference, and it really, it's true, but a lot of people have that mindset that someone else is going to do it for me. What is, or I'm just one voice, I can never make a difference. Those are the two different mindsets that I've come across when, in regards to people that just don't fight. Mm-hmm. So, but that's how I stay positive, is just knowing that I'm doing what I can to fight for what I love and to keep what I love around, and accessible. So that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, definitely. Because I know I'm kind of the same way. I mean, it's easy to get down on yourself, or not on yourself, but down because of what's going on. But like I always say, I don't want to be that person who says, "Oh, well, I mean, I'm the person who did this, or I'm the person who did that." I always want to be or I don't want to be the person to complain about something I never did.
Right.
So I always want to make sure I do my part before I complain. Because I mean, it's like people who go out there and the voting for the president or the new mayor. If you don't vote for the new president or new mayor, you can't really complain. If you sit there and you complain about it, how are you supposed to? I mean, it's not, you can't complain about something you didn't try to contribute to.
Right.
No matter how small you contribute, like Shane always says.
Let your voice be heard.
Voice.
Yeah, their biggest thing is, well, I didn't vote for him. Well, you didn't vote for anybody else either.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You
didn't help the odds. It's like saying, "Oh, well, I didn't miss any shots." Well, you didn't take any shots.
Right.
You have to take a shot, no matter if it's you're missing or you're not.
Yeah.
you got to put your part into it. You
Yep.
always got to fight for your rights. You got to play your part. You got to do your part.
And don't get me wrong, it's not always easy staying as positive as I do. I suffer from some pretty severe bipolar depression. And so a lot of the time I'm really down and don't have the motivation. But when I get this chance, this is my escape, you know what I mean? So right here, this is what really makes me happiest.
Oh, yeah. And Shane, did you have any questions for him?
No, not right at the moment.
I had another one. So I know a lot of your viewers are UK based. I've heard a little bit of it, but I mean, I'm pretty sure some people in chat who might not have heard it. How did you draw all those UK based viewers?
That's really where I started. Yeah. And the only thing I can say is because the way I started my journey into vaping as like a full-time vapor and not dual use, which was a year ago, March 30th. I watched, as most other vapors do, and I'm sure obviously they're in chat right now, they watch reviewers. I used to watch a crap ton of reviewers. And one of the reviewers that I used to watch was a guy named Ralphie, or Ralphie's Reviews. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've ever heard of that or seen him. He's from a company called Knucklehead Vapes. Team Knucklehead is their group page on Facebook. And I watched him and I watched him and I watched him, and I never thought too much about it, but he was always plugging the group page at the end of his videos. So one day I decided I was going to go ahead, join the group. He was the very first reviewer that I ever watched that I actually had a personal conversation with, actually got a hold of, and was able to, have a genuine talk with him. And he gave me some tough love, and that day I decided that I was going to quit smoking for good. And then I decided I was going to start doing a 30-day vlog where most of my viewers came from the group itself, and it just kind of branched out from there. Now I'm up to 550 subscribers, and I think that maybe an 8th or a 16th of those subs are from the US. Mm-hmm. So wow. I'm still trying. I'm working on branching out. You guys are definitely helping me out by having me on the show. So I just want to say thank you guys.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for coming on.
No problem. Yeah, I think social media is a good way to branch out. I know being in the Stew Crew is kind of like you said. I mean, it helps you. I mean, I'm part of the Stew Crew Discord and everything like that on the Facebook group, and I think that has really helped me a lot. Like even before the show, asking you questions about Zoom, asking James questions about Zoom, everyone, having Eric help us with thumbnails, logos. I mean, there's so many people out there that can help, and it's like, if you just find the right group, it's easy just to settle. But I mean, it's always good to venture out and find other groups to hang out with. And yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure you hung out with the UK group a lot, and then you found the Stew Crew and started hanging out with it and there a lot. I mean, it's the Stew Crew to me has really helped out so much. And I mean, you can go ahead. It's
most busiest. Most of my activity within the US has been with the Stooge Crew and the Omies, and that really all stemmed from when I met everybody at NVE. I was immediately accepted into the Stooge fam. I was immediately accepted by everybody, and I just became a part of the fam there, and it's been a great blessing.
Oh yeah, the Stooge Crew, man. I don't know who they wouldn't invite with open arms. And I mean, anytime we see it on Discord, there's someone new in the group, you get at least 20 people saying, "Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome," and they'll throw in some funny little comments and stuff. But I mean, it's always so fun. Like, I mean, if anyone's not in the Stew Crew, Erica, if you could put the link to the Facebook group. But if you're not in the Stew Crew, make sure you go into it, answer the questions. I know I promote them a lot, but I mean, it's something that has helped me build as a person and as a reviewer and doing these live streams. So, I mean, if you're not involved in it, go get in it. answer the questions. All you have to do is answer the questions.
Yep.
You answer them, you're in there. Go look at the announcements, download Discord on your computer, your phone, whatever you want. I mean, you can, like the first time I heard about it, I was talking to the Garrity's and they're like, oh, hey, yeah, I mean, you want to get on Discord after the show? I was like, what's Discord?
Yeah.
And they showed me, like, oh, yeah, there's going to be like 40 people in there, like anyone from like James or Frames Janklin. They said, I mean, like Shane's in there. They said Mr. Just Right One used to be in there a lot. They said Daily Vape TV, Nick Bissett, Stan,
Swaggins.
and Swaggins.
Vapor
And then now
Swaggins.
we even have people like Ruby Brew who comes in there. Like she was in there this weekend, and I mean, it was awesome. I mean, it's cool because you can sit there and you can ask them questions, and like they were all going through like, oh, well, what's your favorite Addy? Oh, I need to look for that one, and they're like all looking for their stuff, and it's just something that's really cool. I mean, hell, this weekend I lost track of time. I think we were all in there till like 4:00 in the morning, just all hanging out, talking to Ruby, talking to Swaggins, and all them.
I think I left at like 1:30. I was like, I'm sitting here and I'm about to fall asleep, sitting up, and I was like, okay, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, and there's still like 15, 20 people in
they're
there.
still going strong. So,
I mean, there's never a time of the day someone's not on there wanting to talk.
Yeah, and it's a great forum to be in because it's not easy when you're a new vapor, and jumping in something like that where you don't just get people that talk about it, and a lot of things we talk about don't have anything to do with vaping, but it's more of a support group. If you're having an issue with something, you can go in there and people can give you the support you need. You become family. When you join, you're not just another part of the Stooge crew. You're actually part of the Stooge family.
Oh,
So
yeah.
That's one thing I really want to stress to everybody is we treat everybody like family.
Yeah. I'm very privileged to be a filthy casual too.
Yes.
Same here.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like Shane said, it's like a family. Like they do Stooge blessings, where anyone who they think that really deserves it gets it, and like we just help out people. It doesn't matter what their problem is, what they had happen in their life. We try to help out. Like we did one not that long ago. I think it was last week we did one, and I mean, to me, giving back to that just made me feel great, because there's a lot of times where you hear about stuff happening and you can't do nothing about it because you can't really get in touch with them. But then you have this big old support group who's like, okay, hey, this happened. We're doing something about it. Let's help out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like, man, that's so good, because I mean, it's not even vape related. They see someone has a personal problem in their life or something that's happened to that in their real life, and they want to go out there and they want to help them. It's just awesome. And then like people who are always in there for the suicide prevention streams and everything, like Michelle and all them. I can't wait to be a part of the next 24-hour stream on that, because I mean, that's something that I really want to help out on. And I mean, the last person who I found out who passed away because of that, I mean, watching the video of the person crying about it and pouring his heart out about it, it just made me feel like, okay, if that was my daughter, that would be terrible. And I'm just so happy to be a part of a family who cares about more stuff than just vaping.
Right.
They care about everything, all these other problems, all these other laws. And I mean, you can go in there and talk about advocacy, whatever y'all want. So, I mean, there's so much you can talk to them about.
Yep.
Just make sure you answer the questions and get in there.
Yep. No, it's actually funny you said that. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to just plug this real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
I was actually thinking about and working on starting another 24-hour live stream for charity. For NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness, as well as I want to do this twofold because, as you said, most of my viewer base is UK. So I want to do something a little different from what I've seen done before, and I want to do a split charity where I donate half of the proceeds to the US organization and the other half to MIND, which is the mental illness and suicide awareness organization over in the UK.
Nice.
So that's what I'm working on putting together. Anybody out there who's interested, let me know. I'll definitely have you guys on.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
Oh, yeah,
You can
let
go
us
ahead and
know.
sign me up. Write my name down.
We'll be there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely involved with that. I really want to get involved, and that's really cool because I mean, having a split or not really a split for you, but having mainly UK based, but being in the US and having the support you have here also, that's just something really cool that you can give back to both sides. And
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
no matter what we do, whenever we do something like this and we're giving back and we're doing this for a charity or whatever, we're giving back. But being able to do it to two charities is really awesome. I really think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
You know, and I suffer from mental illness, and it's what I can do. You know, it's the only thing I can do, but it's what I can do. Donate my time, donate my time and bring people together. And we already know that the vape community, they come together like no other when something like that goes on.
Yep.
They're all very, very willing to participate and donate to a worthy cause like that. So, and above that, it's been said by other people in other live streams with me on as a guest before, I don't know how many other people recognize the barrier between US reviewers and UK reviewers, but it's like I'm trying to bridge that gap and, get over that barrier. There's been tensions and attitudes and behaviors that have really been butting heads between the two. And I would like to see, me, I'm positive. I'd like to see us all come together and actually work together rather than work against each other.
Yeah, that's something me, Shane, and Nick talked about last week is the divide in the vape community.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that I'm not saying they have it good, but they have a little bit better than we do over there because they have the actual hospitals, they have the government, they have their sides wanting to go for vaping, and they know, hey, it works.
They're pushing it.
Quit smoking. Yeah, they're pushing vaping on people because they're saying, hey, you need to quit smoking, you need to start vaping.
Right.
Yeah.
But then you look over here at the U.S. and we're having it worse and worse every day. There's new laws, there's new things going on, and I mean it's like me and Shane said. I mean, we said it last week. I mean, there should not be any divide in the vape community, especially with stuff like this going on. And I mean, it's not like they don't recognize it. I know I watch a couple of UK reviewers. I watch even Vape and Bogan. He's in Australia and he keeps up with the US. They know what's going on in the US, but it's just we need it to be a full team effort when we're trying to fight these bills. Mm-hmm. I know we can't all fight, like Bogan can't fight something in Texas or in Alabama or Massachusetts or anything like that whenever he's over there in Australia, but he can still let people know because he knows what kind of platform he has. He understands, okay, yeah, I do have people who listen to me in Texas, so let me go ahead and let me bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's something I think is really cool, and I think more people need to be like that and work together.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Spread the word everywhere that's going through regulation, not just, it is most important to us as, Americans to focus here on the U.S., but we need to raise awareness for all of the regulation that's going on all over the world, not just here,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's like with me, I always go like city, county. Like for me, I'll go, okay, I'll start with my city. Okay, what's going on? County, state, U.S., and then world. I try to make sure I have what I'm trying to tackle first around me, and then I start branching out so that way I can keep myself informed and maybe try to make a post and let some other people get informed on it. Because I mean, it is something that really needs to be done. Like my aunt, she's in town right now from Illinois, and and she I tried to talk to her about it because she's like a history professor and everything. I'm like, I try to preach it to whoever I can, and it's not like she smokes or vapes or anything like that, but preach it to anyone you can, because you change one person's mind, they might see someone smoke and say, hey, I saw my nephew, he was vaping and I heard it and he was saying how good it was, and I did some research. Maybe you should try that, and eventually it might pass down mouth to ear to everyone.
Right. And that's one thing,
key.
One thing we want everybody to know is just take what they tell you and do your own research. You mm-hmm. always want to look into it. Regardless, I trust Jay with everything. I trust him with my life. But I'm going to research it myself just because that's how I am. and I want everybody to kind of take that little nugget and run with it.
Yeah,
Don't
and
ever
if
take.
we
Go ahead.
if we find something and we say something like the other week, I said, "Oh yeah, Texas they passed the T21." They didn't pass it yet. I heard they passed it on a couple places, but Angela, I think Angela or Dunkel Croy, one of them were saying something about how they didn't pass it yet. So I mean, it's always good if you hear someone say something and they did some research and it might have been some false research, go back and correct them. I mean, or go back and correct yourself, because I mean they didn't pass it yet. We still have a little bit of time to fight it, but I mean we always got to be on our toes when it comes to stuff like this.
Yep. And people are going to be oppositional. Don't forget that, like, for sure. But yeah, for like, I'd say continue spreading the word, even in public. For every 10 people that you approach and talk to about vaping, you might get one that you can actually convince to look into it a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Even if you get that one, man, you've done a good job. You've done your part. You've done a good thing to help survive the vaping regulation.
Yep. Exactly.
That's kind of where I started, was the mindset that if everything that I do, the videos that I do, the live streams that I do, if I can only help just one person, I've done exactly what I've set out to do.
Yeah. And that was actually going to be my next question. What made you get into the advocacy? Because I know like getting into vaping, it's a lot of people think, oh yeah, I'm gonna go buy one atomizer, one setup, I'm good. Just go buy that same juice. And I did that for a long time, and then I eventually started seeing all these cool mech mods and starting to learn more, and then I started learning all these regulations. I mean, what got you into the advocacy part?
Pretty much the same thing. I started vaping with a Smock Stick V8 kit. That was my very first mod. I saw the recoil, the original recoil in the shelf when I was there, my first trip to the shop, and I said, you know what? I want to get to the point where I can use one of those, just a dripper. Mm-hmm. And once I got to the drippers, I started rebuilding. I said, you know what? I want to move into mechs. And eventually I had developed just an immense passion for vaping, and for, eventually it turned into a hobby of mine. So yeah, I classify myself as a hobbyist. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And because I had such a passion, I started hearing about regulation and all of the things that were starting to go through. And it made me very sad to see all of this. And that's where I really came into it, was that final point when I had that talk with Ralphie, and I said, you know what, I want to show everybody else what it's like from the day that you quit smoking to a month later. And that's when I said, I'm going to do my vlog, my first 30 days of being smoke free. This is going to be the journey that I take, and I'm going to document everything. I started out doing, I think, 3 videos a day. I would do one in the morning, one at noontime, one at night. Then I moved it down to just 1 in the morning and 1 at night. And then eventually I was just doing 1 a day. But it was that actually achieved my goal of what I wanted to do, because I've had 6 people approach me and tell me because of my vlog, it's helped them to stay off cigarettes and keep vaping. Mm-hmm. So I've done my part. I've done exactly what I set out to do, and it continues to grow. The love continues to grow every day. So I'm not going to stop doing what I do.
Nice. I mean, I speak for myself, but I'm pretty sure I can speak for most of the vape community. I really appreciate that, because I mean, I didn't do like a vlog like that, but that right there is something that's really cool and really good for people to know. So I mean, anyone can go check it out. It's still on your channel, isn't it?
Of course it is. All of my videos are still up on my channel.
Yes, I mean, you can go check that out and see like what his day-to-day struggle was, or what his day-to-day successes were.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just really cool. Because I mean, like you said, you started with the Smock, what did you say, the V8?
The Stick V8 kit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Didn't they have a V12 also?
Well, they've got the 12 is, I think, just the tank, the V12,
okay.
TF V12.
TF V12.
Yeah, I don't think they had a kit for that.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
I don't think
the
it.
stick on it was
Not,
like this big around. It was huge.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I had the V8 or the V12. I can't remember what it was, but when I got back into vaping, that was the first thing one of my buddies lended, like he handed me to go use. And
Yeah.
honestly, what got me into advocacy was getting back into vaping. And then they're like, "Oh, hey, we can't help you set up anything." Yeah, it was the same
Yeah.
thing. And then he said, "Oh, well, I mean, yeah, we can't help you set up anything, and you can't try these juices and all this other stuff." I'm like, "Wait, what?" They're like, "Yeah, you can't do that."
Right.
I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. So I started researching when I got back into vaping like about 2 years ago. And I was like, dude, this is crazy. Someone needs to get the word out about this. And I started watching more and more channels. Cause I mean, I was watching channels that were like big and they weren't saying nothing about it. The only one who I think was saying stuff about it was Grim.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's sad that, I mean, I know a lot of the bigger channels, they actually do put advocacy stuff out there, but they don't post about it. And that's something that I really kind of don't like. Or I not kind of don't like. I don't like it because I mean
It's talking the talk and not walking the walk.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, even if you're doing stuff behind the scenes, I'm not. I mean, I've worked with people who think stuff doesn't happen behind the scenes. But I know stuff happens behind the scenes. I've heard, okay, yeah, this person does this person does that. They give a huge tribute to advocacy, but you have another platform that you could use to not make money off of, but put stuff out there to where everyone else can hear something.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not saying go out there and brag about yourself. Hey, I just sold a car and I'm donating all the money to this, or I just gave $100,000 to advocacy. No, I'm saying just put out there a couple advocacy posts every now and then, even if it's just repost. Hell, that's what I do
Yeah.
half the time. Repost stuff or put it on my stories. That way people can see it.
Right.
And it's just trying to get the word out there. And the people with the bigger platforms, I think that's something that they should really look into doing because there's so many more people who could hear about it just through them.
Yep. You're right. There are multiple different platforms to use. And if we restrict ourselves to just one, we're holding ourselves back, you know?
Right.
In my opinion, we're really holding ourselves back. We could be doing so much more if we actually make use of every outlet that we have to really expand the awareness and the truth behind vaping, not just this, public media bullshit that we get from the FDA and all of the network television. Because one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that network television are owned by politicians. You know, look at the Clinton administration. They own 3 different networks.
Yeah.
So it's like they're feeding us what they want to tell us, not what is the actuality of things.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing with voting and stuff. They're going to tell you what you want to hear, but then once it comes time for them to actually do something, half the time you don't see them actually doing what they said that they were going to do.
Exactly.
And that's honestly one thing that makes me angry with that, with the government and everything.
Yeah.
But now we've talked a little bit about advocacy. Now let's get into some actual topics. So one of them was SB. Let me pull it up real quick. I think it was
SB 38.
Yeah, I was just making sure it was SB.
Yeah.
Yeah, SB 38. We had a victory on it, and I actually have a article on it. I don't know why I pulled it up on my phone. I'll put that in the chat real quick.
Erica,
but yeah, so we as the whole vape community, the California flavor brand was withdrawn. We got a victory on that one, so that's always something to celebrate. But like we always say, don't sit back, make it a huge thing. Oh, okay, we're done. Let's wipe our hands off. We're good to go. No, always stay on your toes. Because if you're on your heels, they're going to push you right down on your butt because it's harder to stay balanced whenever you're on your heels.
Yeah.
Always stay on your toes. Be ready because we might have helped California. I know a lot of people were pulling for this. A lot of people were doing whatever they can for this. But I mean, this is something that's huge. Is that could have easily just destroyed the whole California vape community. And the thing is you see a state like California who has a lot of political pull whenever it comes to voting and stuff. That's one thing I like to base a lot of the vape stuff off of. You see some smaller states say, okay, we're going to do a flavor ban. Yeah, it's still good to fight for it. We still all need to fight for it. But think about something as big as California or Texas, a big state, and a big state with a huge voting poll when it comes to elections and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're look at how the trickle down effect would affect more if something big like that happened there. I guarantee you, if California would have passed this, it would have been state by state doing the same thing, because they're saying, hey, this state has huge amount of voting polls. They have a huge amount of population. Is this something we should look into?
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee you would have kept going and going and going.
Well, look at the trend. California, all throughout history, has been the trend-setting state in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
You know, look at, and I don't want to get too into this, but look at legalization of marijuana. California was the first state to do that.
Yep.
And then look how many other states followed suit right behind. You know, and I don't think this is going to be any different. I think the regulation that goes on in California, we're going to continue to see spread across all the different states in the U.S.
Right.
Yep.
And that's one thing that I'm big about. I'm in Alabama, and there's nothing going on here. But, you know, like Jay said, we always want to be on our toes and ready, because I know if it goes to California, and I know there's stuff in Connecticut. What was it, Connecticut last week? We were talking about taxes. There was a huge tax there. You know, New York's probably on the horizon of something. New Jersey's already got a tax. So once it hits all those places, it's going to come to everywhere. And, you know, we just want everybody to be ready for that when it gets there. So you're educated and you know how to handle yourself. You don't want to go up there and be an ass to everybody, because they're just going to, you know, shoo you away and, well, that guy's an ass, I don't want to listen to him, you know, and not even realize that you're speaking the truth. You just have to know how to do it in the correct way.
Yeah, they're going to use that against you. They'll definitely use it against you. Say, well, here's an example. Look what the vape community is.
Yeah.
And they're going to use you as the main platform thing. And with that, I kind of did a mess up yesterday on a video. And I really want to thank everyone out there who kind of called me out on it or messaged me and tried to tell me, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that. Because, I mean, that's something that's really good right there, that I have, I don't want to say a good, or I guess a good friendship with people to call you out. Because, I mean, the people who wouldn't call you out are people who don't really care.
Exactly.
But the people who cared actually called me out. And I know a lot of people didn't get to, because I pulled it as soon as I could. And I ended up having to go re-edit a video and repost it just because of a 4-second thing that was in there. And I mean, that's something that I really appreciate everyone for helping me out on that and kind of calling me out and letting me know, hey, that's probably not a good look, or hey, maybe you should do this. Because they're pretty much saying that, yeah, they could just use that against you, and it could tear you down as a reviewer and tear you down as a person. And all your social media platforms. That's something I really like that they actually helped me out with. Yeah, I kind of felt bad yesterday. I was kind of in a slump. I was like, man, I really fucked up. I shouldn't have done that. Damn. But I was like, you know what? It's whatever. You learn your lesson, you move on. And I learned a lesson yesterday. I kind of didn't think about it until I posted it, but I really appreciate everyone out there who helped me out with that and kind of called me out. But yeah. But I mean, it's so easy for someone, one second, but it's so easy for someone to use something against you like that.
Yeah.
I could have posted. Someone could have easily went to a hashtag and saw it and said, oh, well, here we go. Yeah, let's use that against them. And that could have been something terrible. So that's why I removed it. But yeah, go ahead, Lethal.
That's why it's very important. It's very important to remember, whenever we're doing anything for the advocacy of vaping, it's very important that we all remember that in their eyes, we are going to be the face of vaping. We are going to be the face of the community. We're going to be the one probably the first interaction that they would have had with vaping. So what they see is what they're going to think of the rest of the community.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very important when writing our emails, when we write handwritten letters, when we make our phone calls, we do it in a very professional manner. Mm-hmm. Something that's not going to paint a bad picture for the rest of the vaping community in the industry.
Right.
So very important to remember that we are representing the face of vaping as we know it.
Yeah. And I plan on putting a video up to help a friend with their website. And I plan on putting a video up soon on how to be a good advocate and a good activist. But to make sure, because this is something that was really important to me, someone asking me, hey, can you help me out with that? To me, it was just huge. And I've kind of slacked on it. I haven't got it done yet. But one of the reasons is I actually sent that off to my aunt, who's a professor and now works for like the UIL for journalism and writing. So I wanted to make sure everything was politically and grammar correct before I went anywhere with that. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I haven't put a video up for it yet. But yeah, I mean, I plan on putting a video up pretty soon for that. So I mean, stay on the lookout for that. But that's something I wanted to do because I didn't want it to be used against me. You're like, oh, look at this guy. Grammar's everywhere. I mean, terrible. I mean, he doesn't even know what he's doing. He's just putting a video out there. I want to make sure everything was correct on something I cared so much about, like vaping and being a good advocate and an activist. And I want to make sure I was giving everyone proper information and proper grammar and proper facts and links and everything before I actually went out there and did something like that. So, I mean, it's always like reviews and stuff. Yeah, it's whatever. Just say whatever you want. Let everyone know what you feel about it. But for vaping, it's not really subjective. I mean, for advocacy and stuff, it's not really subjective because, I mean, yeah, you could be against it or with it pretty much.
Yeah, it's pretty black and white.
Yeah, there's not too much about it.
That's one thing that I'm going into on my next video is activism versus advocacy. What are the similarities and what are the differences? You know, I want people to understand that you don't have to be an activist to be an advocate, or you don't have to be an advocate to be an activist. I believe that everybody has a role in this. Every vapor has a role. But I think a lot of people don't know what that role could be. You know, they may not be good at public speaking. They may not be good at going out and talking to people they don't know. So they may be people that send emails. You know, but then there are people that send emails that are very good at going out and public speaking, and they need to be the people more on the front lines. But they also need to know how to do it and how to do it the correct way. So I'm going to really dive deep in that video. And, you know, I've got a lot of research going, you know, looking at different types of activists and different types of advocacy. So that way, you know, you can get a good comparison of one to the other and see the similarities and the differences and kind of get a better idea of where you're going to fall in that area.
Yeah, use your niche for sure. Whatever you're good at. Like we had a guy at our work, man. I honestly think he got moved up for the reason of how good he speaks. And they were pretty much sending him everywhere. They're like, hey, we have a conference thing here and we need someone who speaks really good. You're going. And I mean, use your niche. If that's your niche and you're a really good speaker and you're really good at that, use it. If you don't have a good voice and you're not good in front of crowds and you're not good on like camera or anything like that, you could always do it another way. Instagram's a good way. Make a post, put it in your caption. Just take a picture and put it in your caption.
Right.
I mean, look at what Eric Vinyl Vapor does. I'm not saying he's not good with his words or anything, but look at what he does. He makes a drawing, posts it, and then puts a huge caption about what this meant to him, why he did that drawing, or what he did the drawing for that he believes in. That's something easy. If you're good at art, do something like that. I mean, there's always good ways to do that.
Yeah. Agreed.
Choppy. Okay. Okay, well, I guess the video is getting a little choppy for some reason.
I had the same problem earlier when I did the other show.
That's fine. They said the audio is good though, so we can just keep talking. It's almost like a podcast. You just put the screen down and just listen.
Sometimes you can see us. Sometimes you can't.
Yeah, just listen to the voices.
I'm gonna lower the bit rate a little bit and see if I can get it to work better.
Sometimes our voices make us sound sexier if they don't look at us.
There we go.
Yeah. Now, someone who I think has a really good voice I know this might be no, it's not really off topic, but someone who has a really good voice, and I've always said this, and I love listening to them on the podcast too, is Grim Green.
Really?
I think he should be a someone who does like a podcast. Like just the way he talks is just like there's half
does
time
do a
at work when I'm
podcast.
listening.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, like
He's got
his like
voice.
510 reports and his live streams. There's sometimes at work if I don't have time to watch the video, I'll just put it on and close or move the window out of the way so that way I can just listen. I'm like, man, this sounds just like a radio guy or something. I mean, that's something that he's really good at.
Another guy, another really awesome voice from Vape Reviewers is Vaping with Ken.
Yes.
Yes.
A definite radio voice.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to drop the link to the next subject we're going to talk about real quick. And this one is Washington's governor signs bill for to a vaping tax. So we just had a good one. Yes, we beat the California, but now we got something in Washington where they actually signed a bill. It's House Bill 1873. It's going into law early this week, or went into law early this week, and the new tax will cripple the vape industry in Evergreen State. So what they're doing is they're doing a wholesale tax of 9 cents per milliliter on any e-liquid container larger than 5 milliliters, and 27 cents per milliliter for any other vaping product. But they want to throw in there, what is that act takes? Oh, this act takes effect October 1st. So it's not in effect yet, but it takes effect October 1st. They did the signing earlier this week. But it says half of the revenue will benefit a research or cancer research fund, and the other half goes to funds a range of other programs, other health programs. So to me, this is like, okay, yeah, it's good. It's going to cancer research. It's going to health programs. But the people who are doing their cancer research and the health programs and everything like that, who owns them? Where is it going to? Because we already know big pharma and big tobacco pretty much like partners with the FDA and everything. So it's like, is this really going to benefit us? Is this really going to benefit anything that we are messing with right now? Because, yeah, I'm all in for research and stuff like that, like the one in Arlington or in Texas that we did a long time ago that the Garrity's told me about. Was they want to do a small tax per milliliter on liquids because they said, well, a guy got killed because he had a mental illness and the officers didn't know how to really react to it, and he got shot because they weren't aware of the situation. So they did one for the police to be trained properly with someone who has a mental illness or some other kind of effect like that. So that way they could make sure they were handling situations properly and weren't thinking someone was on drugs or crazy. They knew how to actually handle the situation. Mm-hmm. So I'm all for stuff like that. I'm all for stuff to deal with health because, I mean, this is something – vaping is something to make people healthier and live a longer life than they would if they were smoking cigarettes. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's no fountain of youth or anything, but it could definitely help your lifespan if you're going to be out there smoking cigarettes. If you switch to a better alternative that's 95% healthier for you and 2 times more effective, then yeah, I mean, this is something that's going to help you.
Now,
I just don't see, like me and Letha were talking about earlier, I don't see where this is actually going because it's going to go back into the people who are actually fighting against us.
Now, here's something I want to propose to you is the ICOS system and big tobacco getting into the vape industry.
Yep.
They've got the financial backing. Now that they're putting vapor products out, they're going to start backing the vape community. But only to a point.
Yep.
There's a possibility that this could change things. And I'm a little supportive of that in the fact that this could gain us lower regulation.
Right.
But at that end, once we obtain our goal, I'm the one sitting in the background going, all right, you've done your job. Get out.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, and I kind of see it the same way because I mean, they've already talked about if your stuff's not FDA approved, it won't be around. And you see the people who are coming up with these products that are dealing with big pharma.
Mhm.
They're getting their stuff FDA approved as quick as possible, like the ICOS, like Juul. They're backed by Altria, so I mean, they're going to be able to probably get it. The Was it the RJ Reynolds? Was He has a quit stick, or was his?
I think
Uh,
that's what it was.
something Daily Vape TV. Nick had it. I can't
Yeah, I
remember what
can't
it
remember
was
what it's
called.
exactly called,
I thought
but
it
I
was
mean,
the quit stick.
I think it is. I can't remember exactly, but I think it is the quit stick. But I mean, you look at people like that, they're definitely gonna be able to get their stuff
Approved.
FDA approved because they have the money for it.
Mhm.
But then you look at a company like Sad Boy. I mean, they're booming right now, booming on the market.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I know they're booming for me too because I mean, I bought their whole line and I'm like, man, this stuff's good. But even with
I feel rocking the sad
yeah, I
boy.
got 3 Sad Boys with me, and I mean, I was there for a while. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone got tired of listening to it on this stream. Was, damn, is that all he vapes? Is Sad Boy? Are you a sad type of guy? It's like, no, man, this stuff's good. But I
So,
mean, it's even like someone booming like that, or even look at modders and all these other people who are booming. They're not going to be able to pay the FDA regulation, and because it's a certain amount per item,
Yeah.
they're not going to be able to do that.
and that's wholesale. That's the shops that are going to be paying that price, not us.
Yeah,
And well, I mean, we'll see the change in price because the
Yeah.
products are going to go up on the shelves.
oh
but
yeah.
you're going to see a lot of inventory drop from B&M shops if the B&M shops don't drop themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Here, I'll be right back, you guys.
Yeah,
Go ahead and stay on the topic.
just
Yeah.
because of the increase in sales taxes. I know Utah. I can't remember if they passed it. I think they did pass it, but I know that Utah a couple of months ago was looking at an 86% sales tax increase.
Right. Yeah,
On
I don't
all
remember if they passed it or not. I know they beat one. No, that was Colorado. Colorado's the one that beat theirs.
Yep.
I think
But
that
I know
RJ
Utah was
I think that RJ
Yep.
rental thing was called the Views.
the views. That sounds familiar too. But I know PMI is the one that put out the ICOS system.
Yeah.
Philip Morris there, which I don't know. Never mind. I'm going to change topics before he gets back.
It's okay.
Did you hear about the insurance policy thing?
No, I didn't.
I did. Yeah, PMI launched a new life insurance department of their company. So now they offer life insurance. And not only do they offer life insurance, they offer discounts on their premiums to people who use their smokeless tobacco system, such as the ICOS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
doesn't
if you're
surprise
using
me.
an ICOS, you automatically get 25% off your premium for using the ICOS, or when they develop newer products, if you're using one of those, you'll get 25% off your premium.
You're definitely going to be doing that too. So, I mean, it's something that's crazy. And I'm like, why are we going to be doing that? Why are we going to be sitting there and trying to do clean air? And they're like, oh, yeah, well, I mean, it's smoking and vaping. I'm like, but so we can't smoke or vape on the property. They're like, yeah, no, but I mean, we're giving y'all options to help y'all quit. We're going to give y'all, like, we can help y'all out with Chantix. We can help y'all out with nicotine gums and patches. I'm like, okay.
Yep. There's a town, 2 towns over from me, where vaping outdoors in public is illegal.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yep. You can't walk down the street and vape anymore. Can't vape in your car. Can't vape anywhere public.
See, and that's something that I hate. And that's one thing that I think we talk about almost every week, Shane, is why are there so many different rules and laws going on, not just nationwide or statewide, but it's like city to city. Oh, hey, you can vape here. Oh, you can't vape here. Oh, you have to be this age. Oh, you have to be this age.
Right.
Oh, hey, this is completely banned. It's like, I can drive a 45-minute drive and break 4 different laws.
Yeah.
It's like that. It doesn't make any
As long as the town or city adheres to the state laws, they can make up whatever law they want, as long as they're within the boundaries of the state law.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's one thing that they're talking about on That's What She Said, is about how the state law and the federal law and how all that goes hand in hand. Like the state law can be stricter than the federal law, but it can't be looser. But then you look at the cannabis legalization on some states, then it's looser there. But then they were pretty much right on that. It's looser, but the federal government could still come in and bust you for having cannabis on you.
Yep.
But they won't. But I mean, they could if they wanted to. They could come down and they could pull someone over and say, "Hey, you have this on you as illegal." And you could be like, "Well, the state says it's legal." Be like, "Oh, well, I'm in the federal government, so come on, let's go to jail."
Yep.
But I mean, it's crazy how you see stuff like. I mean, I'm not saying cannabis is terrible for you, but we're legalizing that, and then there was actually a city who wanted to legalize shrooms. Or I can't remember what they actually called it, but I don't remember the big words for it. But that's what they were trying to legalize that for a city, but yet we're gonna try to ban vaping or tax the hell out of it to where it just goes away.
Alcohol is still perfectly legal.
Yeah.
You know.
And look at how many deaths come from that, and you look at how many lives vaping saves.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just crazy how tobacco-related deaths and alcohol-related deaths are kind of just like, it's whatever. But then you look at all the other stuff for vaping, and they're like, hey, well, no, we can't have that. You're not allowed to be healthy, and you're not allowed to live a long life. We don't allow that here.
The opioid crisis is a problem, but vaping's a bigger problem. How?
Yeah.
How? How?
I like how you went around the word epidemic. You use crisis.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't.
Epidemic is. I hate using that word. But yeah, it's.
If I ever do use the E word, it's always within quotation marks.
Yeah. But then, like I've said on a couple other times, it might be population control that the government's trying to deal with.
I was saying that earlier today in my other show. Yeah. Population control is a thing. It's a real thing. That's the other part of all of this that a lot of people don't see, is that they're trying to control the population because they're afraid of lack of resources or resource reduction.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's crazy how, I mean, if they come out and say, it's whatever, at least you're being honest with your people. But maybe you're not being honest with your people and you're kind of just like throwing out BS stuff and BS facts and research and everything. To me, that makes no sense.
Yep.
It's why even bring it up if you're gonna throw something out that's completely false.
Right.
Or it might be true, but it's not any way that we use it.
Yeah.
Like when they take a mod and they sit there and they hold the button down until the cotton burns and they keep holding it down, like, oh yeah, this thing can blow up now. It contains all these different chemicals. Well, yeah, anything does. And that's what someone brought up also is, you go cook a steak on the grill. If it gets hot enough, it's going to have the same chemical in it too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's again comes back down to also to being the face of the vaping community and the face of the vaping industry. Did you guys ever see the video from Ben Phillips? Did you guys hear about that? The kid that he's a prankster on YouTube.
Yes.
And he put the helium in his brother's vape, and he had vaping helium. Yeah. That's just dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and obviously wasn't thinking that was going to have any negative effect, but that's just stupid. Not think that it would have a negative impact regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just like the pneumonia lady.
Yeah.
How many people do you think actually went out there and tried that? I mean, even if it was just one.
You put the idea
lady just
there,
killed
people are going to
one
try.
person,
Exactly.
one kid, one human because she made a false claim. Yep. And then like the helium kid, I remember watching all of that, and
oh yeah,
I had a video playing for that. I was going to smash something, but I never did.
Yep.
I mean, it's just crazy. And then, but I mean, then you hear, okay, yeah, well, we fired that person. You never know what happens behind the scenes, but did they really? And it's kind of like, well, I mean, it's really questionable with a lot of the stuff you hear from our actual government or people who work for the government or people who work for health programs. It's crazy how you see some stuff like that. But I mean, like I was talking about earlier, I put one little thing in a video, it could be used against us, but then you have someone out here who has millions of views and we're going to send them a mod and we're going to say, hey, here you go out here and let's let's act like we're going to put helium in it.
Yeah.
Right.
Or even the kids who walk around and blow it and vapor in people's faces. That right there is crazy.
Yeah,
Like, honestly, that's
nuts.
good stuff to report.
That's rude as hell.
Report it.
Yeah.
But then also, like, I even personally emailed some of the people that were doing stupid stuff on YouTube, Instagram, other things like that, because I'm like, hey, we're going through a huge battle right now. This is something that's not going to look good for us. Could you please stop the videos? Please pull them. I didn't hear anything back. I saw that they stopped doing them, but I mean, it's just stuff that they can use against us for people who don't actually vape. They're just going out there getting a zero nicotine and getting a stupid smock set up just so that way they can go out there and say, hey, look what we're doing. We're going to get views from this. It's like, yeah, you're getting views, but you know how many people you're hurting? Because, I mean, there's no secondhand effects. So, I mean, they're not hurting the people that are doing it to, but you know how many people you're hurting their, not feelings, but their everything they've worked for?
Right.
Like
The long-term results.
Yeah. And Grim
That's
Green, 10 years in the making of being an advocate. As soon as they found out about vaping and he started vaping, he said California already started trying to put bans on it. He was there fighting for it. 10 years of advocacy just from Grim Green and a whole bunch of other YouTube reviewers and other people out there in the world. All that could go to shit just because of one people trying to get views and trying to make a joke or trying to be funny. It's crazy.
That's also, I know you guys have seen these, and they really piss me off every time I see them on TV. Truth Campaign. The Truth Campaign commercials.
Yeah.
They're using puppets and cartoons. How many views do you think people actually give them on those videos?
Yep.
It's an insane amount. It's an insane amount.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, what I hate about them is they try to tell facts and make them seem like they're bad, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the whole, we know one Juul pod contains a whole pack of, the amount of nicotine as a whole pack of cigarettes. Yeah, it contains a whole thing of cigarettes, but I mean, you're not going to smoke that in the 5 minutes you would smoke a cigarette.
No.
A Juul pod, I mean, I smoked Juul whenever I got back into vaping. And I mean,
I challenge any of these FDA people to do that.
What was that?
I challenge any of the FDA guys to do that. To sit down with a single Juul pod from full to empty and in one sitting, take it. I guarantee you will not make it.
No. They'll be sick at the doctor's office with some kind of poisoning at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, it's just crazy how they want to sit there and they want to try to, here's a fact about it, but we're going to lie about the fact, or we're going to make the fact seem bad. Yep. No, you're paying how much for a little pod compared to how much for, I think one pod, I can't remember exactly how. I think a pack of pods comes with 4 and it's like $20, something like that.
Yeah, it's like 17.
Yeah, you're pretty much spending the same amount as a cigarette, or for a pack of cigarettes in some states. But I mean, they want to make stuff like that seem bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just crazy because it's like, yeah, Juul can honestly help a lot of people. It honestly really can, because I mean, it's something that is for the lazy people, or not the lazy, but the people who like convenience. If you like convenience and you want something you can find at a lot of different places and you could pop it and go, yeah, I mean, it's perfect for people.
Mm-hmm. See, and I'm going to sound like a total geek right now, but I am going to quote Star Wars. And there was a part in the very first movie, episode, what?
3, 4?
Yeah, episode 4. Episode 4, A New Hope, where not Emperor Palpatine, it was one of the captains. I can't remember his name for the life of me, though. But he said, fear will keep the local systems in line. And that's exactly what the Truth Campaign is trying to do. The worse they make it look, the more people they're going to get on their side, because they're going to be afraid that this might actually be true.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, I know I've gotten the research of the general public who don't smoke vape and the people who vape, people who smoke, and they think what they think about vaping, if it's more harmful, less harmful, or
Right.
in between. You look at when those truth campaigns came out, and then you look at where the numbers declined. I mean, just a little puppet saying something obviously caught someone's eye. And
Most of the catch the eyes of kids. It's a puppet. They
Yeah.
use cartoons. They sang a song about butts, different kinds of butts.
yeah,
They're like, oh, all butts must be good. Oh no, this shit.
Yeah.
What? Now you got swearing cartoons.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy how we could have stuff used against us, but then when they use stuff like that, it's perfectly fine. And they're like, yeah, I mean it's just a puppet talking about stuff.
Because the government sees it on their side.
Uh-huh.
They're
If we-
advocating
Yeah,
vaping.
if we had a puppet go in and advocate vaping, it would be, oh, you're directing this towards kids.
Mhm.
You know? But no, it's okay if we do it. Do what we say, not what we do. That's kind of what it comes down to. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
we
because
don't.
I mean we could make one kind of like what you just said. Make one saying how cigarettes are bad, but vaping's good, and they're saying one how cigarettes are still bad and vaping's bad, and it's gonna be, oh well, yeah, that's not acceptable.
Right.
Mhm.
But it's always acceptable. I mean, like y'all said, it's the government. It's funded by them and everything. So I mean, it's just crazy how
Yeah,
all that kind of works and ties together.
The government, aka the king of the bait and switch.
Hmm
Yep. What is
We're
it?
gonna-
Land of the free, home of the oppressed.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna come at you like this, but we have 15,000 other people coming from the back doing all sorts of other stuff. So we want you to focus on these people that are up here.
So I don't really see any questions in here. Shane, did you have any questions for Mr. Lethal Coilz?
No, man, you covered everything for me.
Lethal, is there any other topics you would like to talk about? Because I know you you sit behind the computer and you'll look up some stuff all the time.
Yeah. There hasn't been much that I've heard lately. To be fair, I've been pretty busy this week with review work and doing my video stuff, so I haven't had a lot of time this week to really look into the advocacy and see what's been going on the past week or so. So I haven't really heard too much, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, all it pretty much is you're gonna hear the same thing but different state and different reason. Like the Washington one we brought up today. Oh yeah, hey, they're same thing. They're getting taxed. Oh, it's a different number. It's a different reason why they want that number.
Yeah.
It always just changes. And like my fiance asked me, do y'all ever get tired of talking to people about that? No, I mean, it's the exact same thing we're going to talk about every show, but it's going to be a different state, a different number, a different reason.
And you never know who's going to watch your show. You know, you could have somebody completely new and not know what's going on watch, this show, for example, and not have seen your other ones. So, it's really helping to spread the word regardless.
Yeah, and that's one thing I really like doing the show, and that's one reason why I really want Shane on here, is because I need more people to help me spread the word. And I mean, it's honestly, it's something that I think it helps. I know it helps. It doesn't help as much as I want it to, but I mean, if it can help one person, it helps one person, and that one person can spread it around, and it can turn into tons of people.
The other piece of advice I can say as far as people getting into advocacy is, and we were talking about the, restricting ourselves to a single outlet to advocate. And we can't really do that. A lot of people are very happy with just writing emails to their representatives, but it's got to go deeper than that. We've got to write handwritten letters. We've got to make phone calls. We've got to, like you were saying earlier, Shane, there's a difference between advocacy and activism. Yep. And we need to be able to become an activist as well. That's just another outlet that we have that's going to help the fight for what we want, and for what we love. So it's very important that we just don't sit back and say, oh, well, I wrote my email, I'm good, I've done my thing.
Yeah.
We need to make use of all the different forums that we have to be able to spread this. And if we're not doing that, then we're just not doing enough.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was saying. I think there's people that have certain roles, where you can have some people that do go out and speak their mind, and you have other people that can send the emails. Excuse me. But I think us as a group, would do better than everybody trying to do everything. I think we would cover. I think we would cover more ground that way.
Yeah, like Grim says, you don't have to do everything, but you do have to do something.
Yep.
That just popped into my head too.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not Grim's actual thing, but I know he uses it a lot. I can't remember the person who actually came up with that saying. But I mean, it's true. You don't have to do everything. Like, I don't have to sit here and I don't have to use every single platform. But if you have a platform, use it.
Yep.
I try to use every single platform. I try to do everything I can. But I know there's no way I can go out there and I can go to each state and fight every single law. But you do have to do something. You have to let people aware. Like what I try to do is I try to make people aware of it.
Yep.
That way they can go out there and fight it. Because I mean, obviously I don't have the funds to travel to every state, and I don't have the funds to buy a piece of property in every state, so that way I can say, hey, I'm a resident of it.
Yeah, that'd be
But
nice.
I mean,
though.
it's.
And let me clarify just real quick. That's not, my opinion is not to say that people that write emails aren't contributing. It definitely helps.
Oh yeah,
It
completely.
definitely helps. There's nothing to be, said about that. There's something to be said about that, rather. You're still doing your part. There's, nobody can invalidate that. I just feel like we should be using more forums that we have available to us. It's going to get more exposure to the real problems. So.
Oh yeah.
But how did you guys start vaping? I figure I'll come up with a question.
Go ahead, Shane.
I started back in 2014. I just wanted something different. I was kind of starting to get back into shape and realized I couldn't get into shape and smoke. So it was one of those kind of things where I had to do something different. And a buddy of mine hooked me up with one of these. A lot of people probably remember these. The Ego Twist with the Jenny tank. I actually pulled that thing out not too long ago and it still works. And I did that for a while and just really wasn't satisfied, and I moved on to a Cloudpore Mini 30 watt with my first sub-ohm tank, which was a Aspire Atlantis V1. And back then, you were hot shit if you were vaping at 25 watts. So I did that for a while and kind of fell back into the smoking again for a couple of years, and then finally I was a dual user for a while and finally just put them all the way down last year. So I've been vaping full time since probably end of July of last year, so I'm coming up on a year.
Nice.
And I can fully attribute at least 50% of that to being part of the Stooge crew. Found them when I was on vacation, first week of July of last year. And, having that support group helped me out tremendously from becoming a dual user to just strictly a vapor. So went through a lot of juice, went through a lot of setups, but finally I'm at the point where I don't even think about a cigarette anymore. So can't stand the smell of them anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, it's hard for me. My wife still smokes, and she smokes inside the house too.
Oh,
So
wow.
I find it gives me more of a feeling of victory. Every time I go downstairs and I smell it, I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
Not into it. I'd rather, I got this.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. So.
And I smell good.
And I smell good, right?
Yeah.
Then she come and give me a kiss. I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, because there's still people I work with that smoke, and they'll come back in from outside. And I looked at a coworker not too long ago, and I was like, God, did I smell that bad before? Because they'll walk by, and it's just like, golly, it's just really strong, and it stinks.
Oh yeah, like I have a boss at work where you could be inside the building and we have our bay doors open, and when he walks by, you can smell it. And honestly, like as a smoker, I guarantee I wouldn't be able to smell it, even not smoking a whole cigarette throughout the day, just because of my nose and everything. But I mean, just the fact of not being around it as much and not smelling it and being healthier, and my senses are a little bit more enhanced now. Yeah. I mean, even with the clogged nose, I could tell when he walks by.
Yeah,
And I'm
food
like, did he
tastes
just walk
different.
by? And they're like, yeah, he walked by. I'm like, oh yeah. Like even when he walks by in the building after he just smoked a cigarette, it's like you could smell that trail for at least 10 minutes. It's
Yeah.
like, man.
I hate that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it's a huge difference just in day to day life. Food tastes different, drinks taste different. You know, once you get away from that, you know, and it only takes, I think, what they say, 3 days for the actual nicotine addiction to, you've got it conquered at that point, and then
Yeah.
it's a lot of it's the habit, and that was the
Yep.
big thing with me. And that's, you know, I liked these for a long time, these little Fits or Infinix
Yep.
type,
By
because yeah, it was just, you know, it was just that, you know, hand to mouth that I was so used to. So, but luckily I didn't gain a lot of weight, you know, coming off and changing over. I know people that have. So, makes it a lot easier, you know, especially with those little pod systems that are out there now, because they're a dime a dozen. There's 100 of them out there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Texas?
Well, I started back in 2013. My first setup was an Ego Twist with a little tank on there, and then I had a VV Nova, the big one with the wicks that hung down.
Oh, the silica wicks.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
I'm
then
sorry.
we're like, man, that's a huge tank on that little itty bitty Ego Twist where you could barely adjust it. But yeah, that's what I started with, and I moved on from that to mechanical mods. And I honestly was not a big smoker. I was a dipper.
Yep.
Chew tobacco a lot, and I couldn't, like, I mean, I've tried the smokeless or the tobacco-less chew, and it just had a
Snus.
nasty texture. Yeah, or I think the one we have here is Mountain something. Can't remember what it is, but I mean it's not good. It had a nasty texture to it. It wasn't nothing like it. And I was like, man, this is gross. So then I stopped. I eventually stopped that with the little VV Nova and all that. And I was hanging out in the vape shop all the time. I got the Kanger Pro tank, the big Kanger Pro tanks. I remember whenever they came out, the little small one, and then the non-attachable drip tip, and then they came out with the 7 mil one that you could rebuild the wick in it, or you could buy the coils. And man, I mean, I remember whenever the Aspire came out, that Lannis, what's the other one, the
Nautilus.
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 Yeah, I bought that the day it came out. I'm like, dude, that thing's so cool. And like the shop down the road from me, they still carry the little ones, the little Aspire tanks, and they still carry the Nautilus.
Yep.
There's
V1.
the Atlantis V1.
Crazy. Yeah, and they still carry the Lannis too. But I started out with those, worked my way into mech mods with like the turtle ships, the Chi-Yus, all those cool mech mods, and I still actually have my old Nimbus. I still have it, and I was pulling those out. And my first dripper was an Igo T, I think. I pulled that on Discord the other day, and I mean, I still have like all my old stuff, or most of my old stuff, but I started out with that, and then I eventually stopped vaping because I'm like, you know what, this is getting expensive. Because I mean, whenever I get into something.
Yeah.
Like, you know what, I think I'm good. I'm not gonna lower my nicotine or anything. I'm just gonna quit. I should be good. And here and there, I would still vape with my buddies if they had their stuff. I would just take a couple of their juices and drip it and everything. And I was like, yeah, man, this is fun. I could still do it. But then I got into a higher position at work, and I started getting more stress at work. So I went back to chewing tobacco, and I actually started smoking cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, what am I doing? And it didn't take me long. It took me about 3 months to realize what I was doing. And I said, all right, I'm going to go back, because I would still go hang out at the vape shop and stuff. I just wouldn't go in there and buy stuff, or I would just hang out with them because they're pretty cool people, and they played on our softball team. So then I went in there and I said, hey, I need another setup. They're like, what's wrong? I was like, I started smoking cigarettes, and I started chewing tobacco again. Like, okay, yeah, we got you. Here you go. Got me set up again. Actually, one of my buddies got me set up first. He gave me a smock tank, or I was on vacation and I got a Jewel because all my friends were using them. When I got back home, like, man, this thing, it gives me the nick fix, but to me, it's not even the nicotine that I really need. I honestly could probably go 0 nicotine. It's the density of the cloud that gives me the satisfaction.
Yeah.
Yes. Like they're like setting up this rig mod RDA. The other day I put some coils in it and it wasn't giving me that density I needed. And I'm like, man, this thing sucks. So I put some new coils in it and I finally got to where I like it. And that's how all my setups are. It has to have that dense cloud or else I'm not someone to go out in public and blow a huge cloud, but without that dense cloud, it's not satisfying to me.
Right.
Yeah.
I could have a throat hit. I could have the salt nick. I could have anything. It's just not satisfying. So then I eventually got into all of that. And then my buddy, like I said, gave me one of those smock sticks. And then I had that Jewel for a little bit. I got rid of it, had the smock stick, and then I bought a G-Priv 2 Lux kit. And I started buying all these stupid smock things. And I mean, I using different atomizers on different things, taking them on and off, eventually wore out that press fit. And I said, you know what, I need something that will actually work. And I went to actually a Vupu drag, and then I bought the drag 2. And then after that, it all started again. Hey, let's see what's new. Let's buy it all.
Yeah.
But I mean, no matter how much money I spend on it, it still won't equate to what how much a hospital bill would be to cure cancer.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And I mean,
treat cancer.
I have a little notepad where I write down a lot of stuff for like topics of advocacy and research I've done. And on one of the pages, I have a wish list for all the atomizers and mods and everything I want, juices, anything I need. I have like a little checklist. And I added it up, and my buddy's like, oh, dang, what's that? I was like, oh, that's my wish list. And I tore it out and threw it away because I had everything I wanted on it. He's like, you wrote down the prices and discount codes and everything next to it? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, let me have it because I want some of that stuff too. I was like, all right, here you go. And like, he's like, dude, this adds up to like over $1,000. He's like, when did you make this list? I was like, like after the beginning of the year, maybe February. He's like, and you have everything on it? I was like, yeah, and more, I think. So, I mean, yeah, I know there's people out there who spend like thousands of dollars a month, but like thousands of dollars in a couple months to me was an outrageous amount. But I mean, no matter what, I mean, it's a hobby to me.
Yep. That's when it becomes hard to not buy things.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just like fishing, man. Whenever you like fishing, you can't even walk into an academy, a Bass Pro Shop, Cabela's without spending over $100.
I said the other day that we as hobbyists, we buy stuff because we want it, not because we need it.
Right.
Yep. Correct.
Right.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I've got everything I need. Somehow more keeps appearing on the shelf.
Yeah, I know.
So is there any other questions you had for us, Lethal?
What was the first video recording setup you've ever used?
Like the actual camera and everything?
For your live streaming, for your videos?
For my first video, and I still use it today. Everyone says, oh, you got to have a good camera. I use a GoPro with no microphone. I use I mean, Shane and some other people can tell you, yeah, there's sometimes where I have audio trouble because I have one of the batteries that for some reason every now and then it'll cut off audio and cut it back on. But I still use a GoPro. I use a GoPro. I set it in front of me with a little mount. I just went out and bought a $500 camera a couple months ago. Still haven't used it. I need to. But I mean, live streams, I just use this computer. But I mean, for the most part, all my videos, even when I first started my little what was it? The first thing I reviewed was the Vandy Vape Pulse Dual, and then the Dead Goat or something like that. Like, if you go look back at those videos, everything's just it's cringy for me to watch. But then you look at the camera quality because I didn't know how to set it up, and I had it to where whenever I edit it, I didn't edit it to the right frame and everything. Everything's just weird on it. Yep. But I mean, I keep them there because I want to look back at them. I want to say, yeah, well, look how far I've came. But I mean, it's that's what I've used, and that's what I still use. I mean, I need to use my new camera and my microphone and everything, but I just haven't got around to use it yet. And I mean, I still edit them on my phone. I just found a better editing software. But I mean, it's just like my phone's probably one day going to crash because all the amount of crap I put in it and posting on it. But
mine's already done.
Yeah. But I mean, it's that's the way I found it's easiest and best for me, and it works well. Because I mean, if I'm on lunch at work, I can just pull out my phone and edit my video real quick and post it up.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, that's just something I found best. I mean, that just goes to show everyone else out there, you don't have to have an expensive setup. A lot of people have GoPros for their cars. A lot of people have GoPros for whenever they go hiking or snowboarding or skating or something.
Yep.
GoPro's a pretty known camera. And I mean, you can even find something even cheaper, a little Sony camera that takes video.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. It just, or even like Shane, go out there and buy a webcam. I mean, I know a lot of people who just use just a webcam or just a computer from their actual, or their camera from their computer. I don't know how they do an up close look, but they do. But I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That people can't say they don't do it.
Do it like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, you can.
How I do it.
Everyone can do something.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everyone's platform, like Shane said it. Not everyone's platform's the same. You don't have to always be the person who makes a video, but you just need to do something.
Yep.
Yeah. I started out just with my computer, and then I had a set of Turtle Beach headphones from my Xbox, and I was able to plug them into my computer and get them to work. Well, then I went on the Vape Stew for the first time, and I went back and watched it, and it sounded like I was talking through a garbage can. And I was like, okay, I got to do something else. So now I have a Yeti. And
cheers, brother.
Yep. Still was using the camera off my computer for a while, and then once I started doing this, I was like, yeah, I got to do something better. I want better quality. So I just have a little Logitech. I think it's the C922. And it's just, I mean, it's great video quality.
Oh, it took him a week, and then he was like, hey, man, look what I got for my new vape mail. Or it's not really vape mail, but look what I got. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah. This was mine.
Yeah.
This was what I did everything from. All of my video work, editing, uploading was all done from here. This is where I started from.
Yeah.
That's how Ruby started too, just using her iPhone.
You know, I started using my PC a little bit once I found a couple of older webcams that we had lying around here, some old Logitech C110s.
Oh wow!
And, yeah, some old stuff. It still looked grimy as hell. But you know, I started with the phone, went to that, and then I had Turtle Beach headset with you know, the microphone, everything. Yeah. And I was using that for my audio stuff. Still wasn't happy, so I really wanted to grab a C920. Fortunately enough, I had enough love from the community that this was donated to me, and I picked up a used Blue Yeti mic, and this is where I'm at now. And like you were saying, Texas, I keep all of my old videos, keep all of them. My whole 30-day vlog was made right from here. So I go back and I'll watch some of those videos, and I'll look at some of the ones that I've done, you know, like last week. And I'm like, holy Christ, what a difference.
Yeah.
It's like, you've climbed a long way.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I have that brand, like I said, I had that brand new, I think it's a Nikon D3500.
Yeah.
And I have two lenses with it. The only restriction with that is I bought the wrong one. I should have bought a different one that actually has a microphone adapter, microphone plug, but I can buy an adapter and everything. It's just me actually doing it. And yeah, I mean, I could even do that with the GoPro. It's just whatever fits whoever's doing it. I mean,
it's like you said, like though, you don't got to go out and spend a crap load of money.
Yeah.
It's use what we've got, you know, and that we don't start doing what we do because we want to go out and spend, you know, hundreds of dollars on all new equipment that, you know, we don't have any clue how to use or anything like that.
Right.
You start because you want to help somebody. And if you don't have the money to buy that stuff right away, then use what you have. It's never too early to start, you know?
Exactly.
Yep. You got any other questions for us, man?
That's it from me, man.
All right. Well, we're going to end up closing this here pretty soon, but Lethal Coilz, if you have anything you would like to promote, anything you would like to plug, go for it. Tell them your channel, your Instagram, your everything. Erica's dropped the links to mine, Shane's, and yours, all your links, I believe. So, I
Yep.
mean, anything out there you still want to promote, or if there's anything you want to say you have coming up soon, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, got some more reviews coming out this week that you guys can look forward to. Got a couple of hardware reviews, but mostly juice. What else I got coming up this week? We've got Wednesday's show, my live show on Wednesday at, I believe it's 7 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. It might not be. I'm going to have to post the time and date once I get that settled out. But this week's guests, we're going to have Vaping with the Omies coming on. So
Nice.
That's going to be a fun show. Aside from that, nope, you guys have the links in chat for my YouTube, my Instagram, and my Facebook group. As maybe not my Facebook group, but go check out my Facebook group and my Facebook page. Everybody's welcome to add me. That's what I got, man. That's what I got.
Nice. Shane, what about you? I know you started your new channel, and I just want to first off say I'm super proud of you.
Thanks, buddy.
I mean, you came on here. You're a huge help on here. I mean, you've helped set up this and Zoom and everything. You're a huge help, and I really appreciate everything you do. Just like I did for my Thank You Thursday, I really appreciate it. But I'm really happy that you came out with your own channel too. You took it an extra step. You didn't say, you know what, I'm just gonna stay on here. I like it over here on the Weekend Wisdom. You said, no, I want to. There's more stuff going on in the world. I want to put more information out there, as much information as I possibly can. So I mean, that's really great. So go ahead and tell them about your channel and tell them about everything, man.
We talked about it here. You know, there's a lot of things that happen during the week, and we may not be able to cover all of those subjects during the time that we're on Weekend Wisdom. So my biggest thing is I wanted to be where I could just click go live. Hey, this is what's happening today, or even record the video and then put it out there. But I wanted to be at a spot where if something major was happening, that instead of saying, hey Jay, we need to go live, well, I'm still at work. It was that kind of deal that I didn't want to happen. Of course, if Jay and I can go together in and do something, we're going to do that every time. But if it comes down to it and something needs to be said at that point in time, I want to be able to do that at that point in time. So that's the main reason for my channel, and I wanted to dig in deeper to a lot of these subjects, like I said, with the activism and the advocacy. I want people to understand all that, and I want to take the time to go into it, in depth, so that way people can really have the research there in front of them.
Yep.
And that was my main reason. There's probably not going to be any kind of reviews. I may look at some e-liquid labels or something like that to, kind of say, hey, this is kind of not okay, but this is okay, and this is a good, this is a good deal. But that's really, where I wanted to go with it. I wanted more boots on the ground is the main premise. And
you got a new sub, by the way.
Do what?
Nice.
I said you've got a new sub, by the way.
Oh, thank you, sir. So that's hoping and praying just for at least one video a week. Maybe a live stream thrown in here and there. I'm married and kids, so it kind of makes it a little difficult at times, but I want to make that happen. So that's something that I want to make time for, to be able to do those things for the community. Not for me. I don't care about fame. I don't care about fortune. I work a full-time job. We have house and kids and everything else. That takes care of itself. The advocacy part won't take care of itself. We have to put our feet down and take care of it.
Yep.
So, but thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all enjoy the videos that I'm going to put out. I always want comments. I want people to speak their mind to me and say, hey, I don't agree with that, or hey, you need to look at it from this point of view. How about looking into this? I'm always going to take constructive criticism and more subjects. There's only so much that I have time to research. So anybody that can come up with something that they want me to look into, I'm happy to do it.
Oh yeah, that's like I always say. If you, I always say in a lot of my reviews, if there's something you didn't like, or there's something I didn't cover, I didn't touch on, or maybe I didn't do enough close down look, put a thumbs down. But put a comment in. If you're gonna put a if you have I don't want to say integrity, but if you're gonna put a thumbs down, at least have
The dignity.
there you go, the
Yeah.
dignity to put why you're putting one. Because I honestly don't care. I mean, a thumbs down. I mean, I don't make money off of YouTube,
Yeah.
but I mean, if you're gonna put a thumbs down, at least let me know what you didn't like or what I could improve on, because then it helps me. It helps me as a person. It helps me as a reviewer. It helps me as someone who goes on live and everything. So I mean,
Right.
just like with Shane and everyone, if you're gonna put a thumbs down, put on there what you did not like and what you think that could improve or what you think could help out.
Yep. And those thumbs down, believe it or not, actually help your channel anyways. They count towards the channel interaction.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They have to click, they have to watch at least, they have to get to the video page, and that counts as a view first of all.
Yeah.
Then they click on the thumbs down button, and that's another win. So it's,
Yep.
but it does help if they put, some constructive criticism in the comment section. That way it'll help us to get better and really improve our content.
Yeah, because we're not making these videos so that way we could show ourselves what we're doing. We're making these videos for y'all to show y'all what we're doing and how we're building something, or what we think about advocacy or these laws, or what this product, how we like this product. So I mean, if there's something in there where you're like, hey, I didn't see how you did the coil build, I'm gonna put a thumbs down, but I'm not gonna say why. Well, we don't know why you put a thumbs down. Say, hey, I want to see how you built the coils in that one, because I don't know how to. It looks difficult.
Right.
Right.
I mean, it's always a good thing to throw in there. I've had a couple of them where they actually put the comment in there, and I really like that, because I mean, it helps me out. It helps me out as a reviewer. Say, okay, well, next one, let me take the coils out and I'll put them back in there so I can show them how I positioned them, or maybe I had a little bit of struggles in it.
Yep. Absolutely.
But for me, like I always do, I got at least 1 to 2 reviews coming out. I'm starting some new segments. I got the new segment up this weekend with the mail time with Texas Cloud Town. So, I mean, that's one thing I really like, because even though I paid for it, it feels like I'm getting a present every time.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know. Someone might send me something and you might be able to see my expression. Like, I wish I probably should put that in one of my videos. I think my fiance recorded it, but whenever she gave me this, I wish I put that in a video, because like the expressions I put out there whenever I get something in for like a gift, or whenever I buy something, I want all y'all to experience that, and it might show y'all the upcoming reviews. So that's a new segment. I got some new ones like Flashback Friday or Throwback Thursdays I'm gonna be doing. So definitely be on the lookout for those. And then I got my normal reviews. I'm gonna be putting up at least 1 to 2 a week, plus the Weekend Wisdom. And I might start, me and Shane, or me and myself and I might be doing some more streaming or something. So there might be some more live streams in the future. But for right now, just look out for the reviews. And on Shane and Lethal Coilz, make sure y'all are subscribed to them. Make sure you subscribe to me. And the best way to figure out if we're going to go live or if we're going to put up a review is to hit that notification bell. Because, I mean, I got a lot of people I'm subscribed to, and it's kind of hard to figure out when someone's doing what. The best way to do it is to hit that notification bell, so that way you know exactly when they're putting a video up or exactly when they're going live. So
When
just make sure you stay tuned to every
work.
What was that?
When YouTube wants to work,
Yeah,
they'll get notifications.
Yeah, because halftime will be halfway through the show, and you're like, "What? I don't understand." But then also look out on our Instagram. All the links are in the chat. Go look out on our Instagrams, because we have that on there too, and we usually post when we're going live or when we're putting a video up. So definitely be on the lookout for those. But like we always say, let's vape on and let's keep it cloudy, y'all.
See y'all.